Mistakes are something we all face in life. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you do, mistakes are a natural part of the human experience. They don't come with a warning, and they don't ask for permission before they show up. They just happen. Sometimes we make small mistakes, and other times they feel like huge failures that make us question everything. It's easy to want to avoid them, to think that if we could just be perfect, we could avoid making mistakes altogether. But here's the reality: mistakes are unavoidable. And that's okay. Every single person you've ever admired, every person who's achieved great things, has made mistakes along the way. In fact, if you were to take a closer look at their journey, you would likely find that their mistakes were just as significant, if not more important, than their successes. Mistakes are an inevitable part of the journey. It's not about whether they will happen, it's about how we choose to deal with them when they do. One of the most powerful perspectives we can adopt when it comes to mistakes is to see them as opportunities to grow. Too often, we associate mistakes with failure, shame, or defeat. But in reality, every mistake presents an opportunity to learn. When something goes wrong, it's not the end of the road, it's a chance to reassess, to think critically, and to refine our approach. Mistakes show us what doesn't work, which is just as valuable as knowing what does work. Every misstep, every error, teaches us something new that we didn't know before. The key is not to dwell on the mistake itself, but to focus on what we can take away from it. How we respond to mistakes is perhaps the most important thing of all. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about how we handle them when they happen. In those moments, we have a choice. We can choose to get discouraged, beat ourselves up, and quit, or we can choose to rise above, learn, and keep moving forward. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who avoid mistakes, they are the ones who know how to handle them with grace and perseverance. A mistake doesn't have to mean failure. It can simply be a detour, a learning experience, or a stepping stone towards something better. Success is not about being perfect or making no mistakes. It's about persistence. It's about continuing on even after you've stumbled, knowing that every mistake brings you one step closer to your goal. Perfection is a myth, and if we chase it too hard, we might miss the valuable lessons that come from making mistakes. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's often winding, filled with detours, bumps in the road, and even some roadblocks. But those bumps, they don't define your success, they prepare you for it. Each mistake you make adds a layer of wisdom, experience, and resilience to your journey. With every setback, you refine your approach, learn a new skill, or gain insight into what truly matters. It's not about how quickly you reach your destination, it's about how much you grow along the way. If you never made a mistake, how would you know how to correct your course? How would you learn what truly works for you? Mistakes are like feedback, they tell us where to adjust and what to keep working on. Without them, our journey would lack depth, and we'd miss out on the personal growth that comes with facing adversity. And let's not forget one of the most important lessons about mistakes: you are not your mistakes. We all make mistakes, but they don't define who we are as individuals. They don't make us failures. They don't dictate our worth. Who we are is shaped by how we move forward after making those mistakes. Our character is defined not by the mistakes we make, but by our ability to get back up, learn, and keep going. Mistakes are just a part of the journey, they are not the end of the story. The real test lies in what we do after we make a mistake. Do we let it define us, or do we use it as a stepping stone to get closer to the person we want to be? Mistakes are not permanent. They are moments in time, small pieces of the bigger picture. And the more mistakes we make, the more we can learn, grow, and ultimately move closer to achieving our goals. So, the next time you make a mistake, don't be discouraged. Don't let it hold you back. Take a deep breath, reflect on what went wrong, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Embrace the lesson, and keep moving forward. Remember, mistakes are part of the journey, and as long as you keep going, you'll find yourself moving closer to where you want to be. The truth is that there is no path without mistakes, but there's also no success without them. Mistakes are not the roadblocks, they are the stepping stones. And with every step, you're getting one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Keep going, keep learning, keep growing, because the journey, mistakes and all, is worth it. Mistakes can feel heavy, and they can feel like moments we'd rather erase or avoid. We sometimes associate mistakes with failure or embarrassment, thinking they're setbacks that hold us back from reaching our true potential. But what if, instead, we viewed our mistakes as incredible opportunities for growth? What if, instead of looking at them as obstacles, we saw them as stepping stones to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our paths? Every mistake brings with it the chance to learn, to stretch beyond our comfort zones and to become wiser. Mistakes are powerful teachers, offering us insights that we might never gain otherwise. When something goes wrong, we're forced to think critically, to reevaluate our approach, and to see things in a different light. This process of reflection can reveal aspects of our journey that we may have missed. Often, mistakes shine a light on areas where we need to improve or give us a new perspective we hadn't considered before. These setbacks can act as mirrors, helping us better understand our strengths and weaknesses and guiding us toward personal and professional growth. One of the beautiful things about mistakes is that they teach resilience. Mistakes often bring disappointment, but they also help us build the grit and strength we need to overcome future challenges. When we fall short, we learn what it means to get back up, to adjust our sails, and to keep moving forward. This resilience becomes a cornerstone of who we are, shaping us into people who can weather life's storms. Without mistakes, we wouldn't have the chance to build that kind of endurance. Every time we recover from a misstep, we become a bit stronger, a bit tougher, and a bit more prepared for whatever lies ahead. Mistakes also teach us humility. No matter how much knowledge, skill, or talent we have, mistakes remind us that we're human, that there's always room for growth. They humble us, reminding us to remain open-minded and adaptable. This humility is essential, especially when we're working toward big dreams or lofty goals. When we remain open to learning, we become more receptive to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new approaches. In that sense, mistakes actually widen our horizons, allowing us to see beyond what we thought was possible. Consider how many great ideas, inventions, and breakthroughs came from mistakes. Some of the most successful people in history stumbled countless times before they finally achieved their goals. For them, mistakes were not final, they were formative. Each failure brought them closer to their vision by teaching them what didn't work and pointing them in the direction of what might. Imagine if they had given up after their first mistake. They would have missed out on the incredible lessons and insights that ultimately led them to success. Mistakes give us the chance to be creative. When things don't go as planned, we have to think outside the box, finding new solutions and adjusting our course. This creative problem solving is a vital skill that can help us in all areas of life. When faced with a mistake, we're challenged to adapt, to innovate, and to explore alternative approaches. Mistakes push us to find solutions we might never have considered, helping us become more resourceful, flexible, and adaptable. In a way, mistakes encourage us to embrace the unknown and trust in our ability to find a way forward, even when the path isn't clear. Mistakes are also powerful connectors. When we share our mistakes and struggles, we open ourselves up to others. They can see our vulnerabilities, our challenges, and our growth, and this creates a deeper sense of connection. Our mistakes make us relatable. They remind others that they're not alone in facing their own challenges. By embracing and sharing our mistakes, we inspire others to embrace their own, creating a supportive community where everyone is encouraged to learn and grow. Moreover, mistakes teach us self-compassion. When we make mistakes, we have the opportunity to practice being kind to ourselves, to remind ourselves that perfection isn't the goal, and that growth is. Self-compassion helps us let go of the pressure to be flawless and allows us to focus on becoming better with each experience. It's a reminder that we are allowed to be human, to stumble, and to rise again with grace. One of the most liberating aspects of embracing mistakes as opportunities for growth is that it frees us from the fear of failure. When we understand that mistakes are part of the learning process, we become more willing to take risks and step out of our comfort zones. We stop holding ourselves back, and we open up to possibilities we may never have considered. We begin to realize that every mistake is simply a step forward, a necessary part of the journey that brings us closer to where we're meant to be. In the end, mistakes don't hold us back, they propel us forward. They're the catalyst that sparks growth, resilience, creativity, and connection. The key is to approach each mistake with an open heart and an open mind, to see the potential it holds for teaching us something new, and to trust that, with every misstep, we are moving closer to the person we are meant to become. So let us embrace our mistakes, learn from them, and use them as the foundation for a life filled with purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Mistakes are unavoidable, they are simply a part of life. When they happen, the most crucial element isn't the mistake itself, but how we choose to respond. That response shapes our journey more than the mistake ever could. It's easy to feel weighed down by missteps, especially when they seem to put us farther from our goals. But within that moment lies a choice: we can either dwell on the error or use it as a stepping stone towards something better. This choice, how we respond, defines our growth, resilience, and ultimately our success. Mistakes can initially feel like dead ends, as if they've thrown us off track. But in truth, they are only temporary setbacks, mere detours that reveal new possibilities if we allow ourselves to see them. When we react to a mistake with patience and self-compassion, we give ourselves the chance to reflect and learn. Instead of thinking, "Why did I mess up?" we can shift to, "What can I take from this experience?" That simple reframing can make a world of difference. It transforms a mistake from something that could derail us into a valuable opportunity to gain wisdom and insight. Many of us have been taught to view mistakes as something negative, something to avoid or cover up. But in reality, mistakes aren't inherently good or bad. They simply are. It's our response that assigns them meaning. By accepting responsibility, we empower ourselves to take control of the situation. Acknowledging a mistake and examining what went wrong enables us to make intentional choices moving forward. This process allows us to understand our actions and behaviors on a deeper level, building awareness that serves us in future decisions. Choosing to respond constructively also nurtures resilience. Mistakes often make us feel frustrated, embarrassed, or discouraged, emotions that can tempt us to give up. But when we resist that urge and instead choose to learn from our mistakes, we build resilience. Resilience isn't about never falling, it's about having the strength to get back up every time we do. In fact, each time we respond to a mistake by picking ourselves up, we become stronger, more capable of facing challenges, and more willing to take risks. We become people who can withstand setbacks, knowing that our response will ultimately carry us forward. Our response to mistakes also shapes our character. Think about it, every time we encounter a mistake, we're faced with the opportunity to respond in a way that reflects our values and intentions. We can choose to approach the mistake with integrity, acknowledging where we went wrong and making amends where necessary, or we can ignore it, deflect blame, or give up. How we respond shapes not only our growth but also our relationships and our impact on those around us. People respect those who take responsibility and learn from their mistakes because it shows maturity and humility. Choosing to respond with a growth mindset also fosters creativity. When something doesn't go as planned, it pushes us to think differently. We're challenged to explore alternatives, come up with new solutions, and adjust our approach. Mistakes force us to adapt, and this adaptability is one of the most valuable skills we can develop. Each time we respond by exploring new paths, we become more innovative and resourceful. We learn that there is rarely just one right way to achieve a goal, and that flexibility opens doors we may never have noticed otherwise. In responding well to mistakes, we also become role models. Others observe how we handle setbacks, whether we crumble or rise to the occasion. When we respond with grace, resilience, and a willingness to learn, we show others that mistakes aren't the end, they are part of the journey. We become examples of what it looks like to be human, to face challenges, and to continue moving forward with purpose. This positive influence can inspire others to respond to their own mistakes with a similar mindset, creating a ripple effect of resilience and personal growth in those around us. Responding thoughtfully to mistakes also teaches us to be kind to ourselves. We often give others the grace to make mistakes, but when it comes to ourselves, we can be harsh critics. By choosing to respond with self-compassion, we remind ourselves that we're human. Mistakes don't mean we're failures, they simply mean we're learning. Practicing self-compassion helps us let go of perfectionism, which can hold us back, and focus instead on progress. It reminds us that we deserve patience and understanding from ourselves as much as we do from others. How we respond to mistakes can even redefine our relationship with failure. Many people fear failure, seeing it as something to avoid at all costs. But when we respond positively to our mistakes, we start to see failure differently. It becomes less about something to dread and more about something to embrace as part of growth. Each mistake then becomes an essential part of the process, a piece of the puzzle that brings us closer to our goals. This shift in perspective can free us from the limitations of fear, allowing us to pursue our dreams with confidence. In the end, the mistakes themselves matter far less than what we choose to do with them. They are inevitable, but the way we respond to them is where the real power lies. Each mistake is an opportunity to grow stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware. It's a chance to build the character that will carry us through even greater challenges. So when you make a mistake, remember that it's not a stopping point. It's simply a moment of choice, a fork in the road that allows you to decide how to move forward. Every time we choose to respond with reflection, resilience, and a willingness to learn, we're crafting a life defined not by the mistakes we've made, but by the growth we've achieved. Mistakes don't define our journey, our response to them does. Embrace each one as a stepping stone, a reminder of our capacity to grow, and a testament to our strength. And with each response, we shape a journey filled not with regrets, but with hard-earned wisdom and purpose. Success is a goal that we all strive toward, a vision that keeps us moving forward. We often imagine it as an achievement of perfection, where everything goes exactly as planned, every goal is met, and every step is flawless. But true success isn't about perfection. In reality, it's a journey filled with twists, turns, missteps, and lessons. Success doesn't demand that we get everything right, it requires that we persist, learn, and grow along the way. It's a mindset, a process of continuous improvement, and an ability to keep going, even when things don't go perfectly. The pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing. Many of us hold ourselves back, fearing that if we don't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. We hesitate, overthink, or avoid taking the next step because we're afraid of making mistakes. But when we focus only on perfection, we miss out on the opportunities for growth that come from taking action, trying, and learning through experience. Perfection can feel like a lofty standard, one that's impossible to reach, and in chasing it, we may lose sight of what success really means: resilience, dedication, and progress. Success isn't a linear path, it's a winding journey filled with obstacles, unexpected detours, and yes, mistakes. Every misstep we take offers us the chance to learn, to adjust, and to improve. These moments are far more valuable than if we had done everything right the first time. Learning from experience builds wisdom and resilience that serve us well in the long run. When we release the need to be perfect, we allow ourselves to embrace the lessons and the insights that each step brings. Instead of feeling defeated by challenges, we begin to see them as essential parts of the process that help us grow and adapt. There is power in persistence. Success is often about showing up consistently even on the days when things don't go smoothly, when the results aren't ideal, or when we're uncertain of the outcome. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, but true success lies in the determination to keep moving forward when things get tough. This persistence is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up. It's the resilience to push past obstacles, to try again after failure, and to stay committed even when perfection is out of reach. In aiming for progress rather than perfection, we also free ourselves to take risks. When we release the pressure to do everything flawlessly, we allow ourselves to step out of our comfort zones, explore new ideas, and approach challenges with creativity. Taking risks doesn't guarantee success, but it's often the very thing that leads to breakthroughs. The people we admire most are those who took bold steps, tried new things, and learned from the inevitable setbacks along the way. These risks, these moments of uncertainty, are where real growth happens. Embracing imperfection allows us to see challenges as opportunities to learn, innovate, and discover new paths we might never have considered. True success involves embracing who we are, flaws and all, and using our strengths and weaknesses as tools for growth. Rather than focusing on where we fall short, we can focus on our unique abilities, our determination, and our capacity to overcome difficulties. When we accept that success isn't about being flawless, we give ourselves permission to be human, to acknowledge our imperfections, and to learn from them. This self-acceptance builds confidence, not because we think we're perfect, but because we know we have the resilience and courage to improve. When we see ourselves as capable of growth, we are empowered to keep moving forward, knowing that each step brings us closer to our goals. Another important aspect of success is our ability to adapt. No plan goes exactly as we envision, and the unexpected is always a part of any journey. Embracing imperfection means being open to change, willing to adjust our approach when necessary, and flexible enough to go with the flow when things don't go as planned. Adaptability allows us to handle challenges with grace, to find solutions we may not have considered, and to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. It's not about having everything figured out from the start. It's about learning to adapt, to pivot when needed, and to stay focused on our ultimate goal, even if the path takes an unexpected turn. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who never made mistakes, they are the ones who learn to see those mistakes as stepping stones. Success is about the journey, about the small steps that add up over time, and about the strength to keep going even when we stumble. When we understand that each failure is simply a lesson, we start to see challenges in a new light. They're no longer obstacles to success, but essential parts of the journey that shape us, teach us, and help us grow stronger. Another dimension of success is our mindset. When we let go of the need for perfection, we open ourselves up to a growth mindset, the belief that our abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset allows us to see challenges as opportunities, to embrace learning, and to believe that our efforts will lead to progress, even if we don't get it right the first time. With a growth mindset, we understand that success is a continual process, not a final destination. We celebrate our progress, learn from our mistakes, and approach each day with a commitment to improve. In the end, success isn't about arriving at a place of perfection, it's about finding fulfillment in the process of growth. It's about being proud of the progress we've made, no matter how small, and about staying true to our goals and values. It's about embracing each step, each lesson, and each challenge as essential parts of our journey. Success is a commitment to keep moving forward, to keep learning, and to keep striving, even when the road is difficult and the path unclear. So let's let go of perfection, celebrate the journey, and find strength in every step we take. Real success is built not on flawlessness, but on resilience, growth, and the courage to keep going, knowing that every challenge and every triumph is part of the beautiful, imperfect journey that leads us forward.
Mistakes are often seen as roadblocks, but they are actually tools that can help us sharpen our approach and improve our methods. Mistakes are not indicators of failure, rather, they are essential parts of growth and development. Every mistake we make has something to teach us, revealing a better path forward, showing us what doesn't work, and refining our approach for the future. When we embrace mistakes as opportunities to adjust and recalibrate, we become more equipped to achieve our goals with clarity and purpose. Each mistake we make provides valuable feedback. It tells us, this method isn't quite right, or there might be a better way to reach your goal. Mistakes are like guideposts that help us course correct. When we view them this way, we begin to see that they're not stopping points, they're redirections. This feedback allows us to see areas where we need improvement, skills we need to strengthen, or approaches that need tweaking. By learning from each experience, we gain insights that ultimately make our journey smoother and more focused. Learning from mistakes requires humility. It's not always easy to admit when something hasn't gone as planned or when we've made an error. Yet being willing to reflect on our mistakes openly and honestly is what gives us the chance to refine our approach. When we view our mistakes as stepping stones rather than setbacks, we approach life with a growth mindset. We accept that we don't have to be perfect, and in doing so we give ourselves permission to learn and evolve. This shift in perspective allows us to view our missteps not as reflections of our abilities, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Mistakes also force us to pause, think, and strategize. Often, we're so focused on our goals that we rush ahead, trying to achieve results quickly. But mistakes have a way of slowing us down and encouraging us to take a step back. They compel us to analyze our decisions, evaluate what went wrong, and identify what could be done differently. This process of reflection sharpens our problem-solving skills and helps us approach future challenges with more thoughtfulness and care. Mistakes help us build a more strategic mindset, teaching us to consider different angles and assess potential pitfalls before taking action. Through this refining process, mistakes can also help us clarify our goals and priorities. Sometimes we pursue certain paths or methods without fully understanding why we've chosen them. When we make a mistake, it forces us to ask, is this really the best way to reach my goal? Or is this even the goal I want to pursue? Mistakes have a way of bringing hidden motivations and assumptions to the surface, allowing us to evaluate whether we're truly aligned with our objectives. This reflection helps us refine not only our approach, but also our understanding of what we genuinely want to achieve. Mistakes encourage adaptability, a key quality in any successful pursuit. No plan is foolproof, and rarely does anything go exactly as intended. When things don't go our way, we learn to adapt, to be flexible, and to adjust our approach to meet the demands of the situation. This adaptability is invaluable, as it prepares us to handle future challenges with a mindset that welcomes change and sees opportunity in unexpected outcomes. The more adaptable we become, the more we realize that there isn't just one right way to do things. Mistakes teach us that multiple approaches can lead to success, each with its own set of insights and rewards. Mistakes can also foster innovation. When a plan fails, it pushes us to think outside the box, to come up with new solutions, and to consider alternatives that we may not have previously explored. Some of the most successful inventions and discoveries were born out of mistakes, moments when the original plan didn't work, but a new path emerged. Mistakes stimulate creativity and ingenuity, encouraging us to go beyond conventional approaches and explore new possibilities. By viewing mistakes as invitations to innovate, we open ourselves to solutions that can elevate our efforts and produce results we might not have imagined. Mistakes remind us of our humanity, building resilience and empathy in the process. When we make mistakes, we're reminded that we're not infallible, and neither is anyone else. This reminder fosters humility, making us more understanding and compassionate toward ourselves and others. We learn to approach ourselves with forgiveness, recognizing that we're learning and growing with every step. This self-compassion also makes us more supportive of others, as we understand that they too are learning through their own missteps. By embracing our mistakes, we create an environment where growth, rather than perfection, is the goal. Moreover, mistakes can strengthen our commitment. It's easy to feel disheartened when things don't go as planned, but each time we choose to learn from a mistake and try again, we reinforce our dedication. The willingness to refine our approach, to keep going despite setbacks, speaks volumes about our commitment to our goals. This process of adjusting and recommitting builds perseverance, a quality that will serve us well in every area of life. Each mistake becomes a test of our resolve, asking us how much we want to succeed and how willing we are to adapt in order to get there. Mistakes also help us develop a sense of patience. Progress takes time, and mistakes remind us that the journey is rarely a straight line. By teaching us to slow down, reassess, and try again, mistakes cultivate patience and help us stay focused on the long-term journey rather than short-term perfection. Each misstep encourages us to stay grounded, to keep a level head, and to trust that with each adjustment, we're moving closer to our goals. Patience is an essential quality, as it keeps us steady and committed, even when the path is challenging. In the end, mistakes are a form of refinement. They strip away what doesn't work, leaving behind a clearer, more focused approach. Each mistake is a learning experience that helps us better understand our goals, our methods, and ourselves. When we embrace mistakes as part of the journey, we realize that they are essential to our growth and success. We stop seeing them as failures and start seeing them as tools that refine our approach, sharpen our skills and prepare us for what lies ahead. Mistakes don't derail us, they equip us with the insight, resilience, and adaptability we need to achieve our goals. Embracing them as part of our path allows us to grow stronger, more focused, and more capable of reaching our true potential. Mistakes are a natural part of being human. No one goes through life without making them. And yet, we often let our errors define us, allowing them to overshadow our accomplishments and potential. But the truth is that our mistakes don't define who we are. Instead, they are simply part of our journey, teaching us valuable lessons and helping us grow. Mistakes don't represent our entire story, nor do they diminish our worth or abilities. When we realize this, we're empowered to see ourselves as more than just our failures. We become free to view each mistake as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point. When we make mistakes, it's easy to fall into self-blame or to let guilt and regret take over. These feelings are natural, but they don't have to linger. Mistakes are events, not labels. They are moments of learning rather than proof of inadequacy. Our value as individuals isn't determined by whether we make mistakes, but by how we choose to respond to them. When we choose to acknowledge our mistakes, take responsibility, and learn from them, we gain strength and resilience. By responding constructively, we show that we're not defined by our mistakes, but by our capacity to grow beyond them. Each of us has unique gifts, talents, and potential that cannot be erased by a single error. If we let our mistakes define us, we miss out on seeing our own worth. Our character is built through the process of overcoming mistakes, not by denying their existence or pretending to be perfect. Mistakes actually help reveal our values, as they show us what we truly care about and where we want to improve. They give us insight into areas we might want to work on, but they do not diminish the strengths and qualities that make us who we are. Accepting this allows us to see ourselves through a balanced lens, appreciating both our strengths and our imperfections. Our mistakes can also be sources of motivation. Instead of letting them weigh us down, we can use them as fuel to move forward. Each time we make a mistake, we're given an opportunity to set new goals and to refine our path. Mistakes offer us feedback about what doesn't work, allowing us to adjust our strategies and take a different approach. When we view mistakes as stepping stones rather than setbacks, we begin to see them as valuable parts of our journey. They become part of the path that leads us to greater wisdom and strength, reminding us that setbacks don't determine our future success, they're simply part of the process. There's immense power in resilience, the ability to keep going after a misstep. Resilience isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about rising each time we fall. The fact that we've made mistakes in the past doesn't mean we can't succeed in the future. In fact, each time we overcome a mistake, we become more resilient, more equipped to handle the next challenge. Resilience allows us to embrace the ups and downs, to persevere through adversity, and to keep moving toward our goals. By building resilience, we develop a strength that carries us through every challenge, teaching us that our mistakes are simply temporary detours on our way to success. Mistakes also remind us of our shared humanity. Everyone makes mistakes, no matter who they are or what they've achieved. When we understand this, we become more compassionate toward ourselves and others. Rather than feeling ashamed, we can view our mistakes as experiences that make us more empathetic and understanding. Knowing that others face similar struggles can be comforting and encouraging, reminding us that mistakes are simply part of the human experience. This realization allows us to be kinder to ourselves and others, recognizing that mistakes are not failures but learning opportunities. Self-forgiveness is a powerful tool for growth. When we make a mistake, it's natural to feel disappointed or frustrated, but holding on to these feelings can prevent us from moving forward. Forgiving ourselves doesn't mean ignoring the mistake or failing to learn from it. It means acknowledging it, taking responsibility, and choosing to move on. Self-forgiveness allows us to let go of the past and to focus on building a better future. It reminds us that we are not defined by our past actions but by our potential to grow and change. When we forgive ourselves, we're able to approach life with a sense of freedom and hope, knowing that we're capable of improvement. Our response to mistakes can also inspire others. When people see us handling mistakes with grace and determination, they're reminded that they, too, can overcome their own challenges. We become examples of resilience, showing others that mistakes don't have to hold us back. Instead, they can be springboards for growth and transformation. By sharing our stories and being open about our experiences, we help break down the myth that success requires perfection. We show that setbacks are a natural part of progress and that each mistake offers a valuable lesson. Furthermore, mistakes often reveal strengths we didn't know we had. When we're forced to confront and overcome a challenge, we discover inner resources like creativity, problem-solving skills, and courage. We learn to think outside the box, to adapt, and to find solutions we may not have considered before. Each time we navigate through a mistake, we gain confidence in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. This confidence reinforces our belief in ourselves, reminding us that we are capable of achieving our goals, even if the journey includes a few missteps. At the end of the day, mistakes are just one part of our journey. They do not define our worth, our capabilities, or our future. What truly matters is how we respond, whether we choose to learn, to grow, and to keep moving forward. When we stop letting mistakes define us, we open ourselves to greater possibilities, recognizing that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Mistakes shape us, teach us, and prepare us for what lies ahead, but they are not the sum of who we are. We are defined not by our errors, but by our resilience, our determination, and our unwavering belief in our own potential.